We won't put it on the agenda again unless we are sure they will be here, and so.
Yeah, because I said it's actually formally withdrawn.
Okay, it's formally withdrawn, we're done. So thank you for your support and your interest, but I don't want you to have to wait around through the entire meeting unless you'd like to stay with us.
Hey, it's good times.
I know, we're gonna have a good time, so you're welcome. Okay, we will start the meeting with an opening by Councilman Mark Hurd. You used to be down there.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. Just briefly, I wanted to include in my opening remarks that obviously with the time of year and the lead up to Pioneer Day, I've been personally reflecting on ancestry and pioneer heritage and the things that have contributed to leading up to this day and age and the experience that I get to have in my personal life. And I just wanted to express the sentiment here in this public forum to encourage everyone to take a minute and reflect back on their pioneer heritage, whether it has anything to do with the state of Utah or not, as far as, how did we get here? So, also, along with that, I'd like to include an opening prayer. Our Father in heaven, we are very grateful for the opportunity we have to gather here as the Cache County Council to participate in and conduct the business of our local community. We're grateful for the opportunity to exercise representative government in our community. And we're grateful for the privilege to carry the responsibility to serve as representatives of our friends and neighbors and the citizens of Cache County around us. We're grateful for the abundance that Thou hast blessed us with and for the means that Thou hast made available to us, specifically for the opportunities that we have to function here in the great area that is Cache County with all the engineered resources or engineered uses of resources, particularly the flow of water in the absence of rain. We're grateful, Father, for the guidance and privilege that we have to be Thy children, and we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Also, to close, I invite you to join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Hurd. That was great. Okay, I would accept a motion to approve the agenda for tonight with.
Move to approve the agenda?
If I may, we have a few amendments that we need to make in the agenda.
Okay.
We're need to amend the agenda to strike item 6B, 7C, and 8C.
6B, 7C,
Yeah,
and 8, which one?
8C.
So the two on the gravel pit.
Oh, the two on the gravel pit and then the,
Revenue projections.
okay,
Yep.
perfect. All right, would you accept that amendment to your motion?
I'll let her make the motion.
Okay.
I move to make the motion with those amendments.
And I'll second it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
it's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda with those amendments. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, how about the minutes from the July 8th meeting? Take a motion on that.
I'm just waiting for Dave.
I'm waiting for Carl.
I move that we adopt the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes from the July 8th, 2025 meeting. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
All abstained since I was gone last time.
Okay. All right, report of the executive.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dirk Anderson, Chief Deputy County Executive, here on behalf of our County Executive, David Zook, who's not able to be here tonight. Just a couple of things to report on. Last night, the Community Resource Fair and Emergency Response Simulation was completed. It was down at the Cache County Fairgrounds, and we just wanted to say it was a really good activity. David was there, but we wanted to especially call out in a positive way Will and all that he does to help us with our emergency preparedness, and it was just a really good night, and thank you so much to him for doing that. And then in addition, we wanted the council to know that the rec center study survey has been completed, and Development Services and Brandon and that whole group is completing their initial review of the results, and we're all anticipating to see what benefits the survey will bring us. In addition to that, Madam Chair, I've got a couple of appointments to propose to the council. And we've got one for the Career Service Council. We have a couple of appointments, additional members to propose to the council to approve. One is for the voting member. Her name is Ambry Darley, and she is the Director of Human Resources at Logan City. And then also Spencer George. He is the Personnel Support Officer for the Bear River Health Department. He would be tonight be proposed to be the alternate member of the Career Service Council. Ambry Darley is being proposed to be reappointed to her 3-year term. And then, would you like me to?
Let's vote on that one first, and then we'll go to the next one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Does anyone want to make a motion about that or have any discussion about those appointments?
So moved.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve Ambry Darley as a voting member of the Career Service Council and Spencer George as an alternative member. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and Council. In addition, we have for your recommendation tonight from the County Executive, the appointments for the Cache County America 250 Committee. As member, Vanessa Ballum, they're all appointed to a 1-year term beginning, July 22nd, today. Vanessa Ballum, Jean Needham, and Pam Budge. Those 3 members are being proposed for your consideration tonight.
Move to approve those names.
Second it.
American 250 Committee.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the appointed names for the America 250 Committee. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Great, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That completes my report tonight.
Okay. Next, we'll go to 6A, the assessment roll correction. I know Brett is not here, but we have a great representative from the
Jennifer
assessor's
Parker.
office.
I'm an appraiser in the Cache County Assessor's Office. We have 2 items that we wanted to submit for your vote. The first one is, I think Brett sent an email with these 2 attachments. Okay, so you have them in front of you. The first one is about a mobile home that resides in the Valley View Mobile Home Park near Hiram Dam in Hiram. You may be familiar with the story. There was an event there, and we are trying to help the son of the victim by abating his taxes for $219.41. This will allow him to move the home that is no longer livable from the property. He can't get a permit to do that until those taxes are paid. He has very limited resources. I understand he's only 21. And so we are asking the council if they will agree to have an abatement on that for $219.41, written off based on the guidelines that are listed in the paper that you received. Do you have any questions about that?
Is this by application through Diana's office?
Yes.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? All right, I would entertain, do we need an motion on that to approve this? Okay.
I have a picture of what it looks like if you need to see it. Any of that? Okay. Do you want me to go ahead with the other one, or do you want to discuss
We
that?
need to take a motion on this.
Okay.
I'll move that we approve the
The abatement.
Abatement.
abatement. Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the presented abatement. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, go
I
ahead.
spoke with Candace of the Victims Advocate, and she's very grateful for the efforts that you are putting on that. Thank you for that. This next one is kind of a unique situation. We have 3 parcels that are on a business block area in Providence, just southeast of where Swig is, if you know where that is. I have a map here if you need to see it. Interesting enough, one of the owners called our office and explained to us that he was looking at his truth and taxation notice and noticed that his parcel was being given a 0.25 acre lot value. When we got investigating it, it appears that back in 2011, when the 3 parcels were recorded together, they were all given 0.25 acres, but their square footage of each of the buildings is different. If you look at the sheet that was submitted to you, parcel 2-171, 331 is actually 0.06 acres, 32 is 0.03, and 33 is 0.02. Then they have a common area that includes the parking lot that's 0.65. We discussed in our office the best way to handle it, and it was determined that it was an error on the county's part when the recording was done, and people just haven't noticed it to this point. And so original value of what we appraised the land and building to is listed. Then what we're proposing, one of them will go up a little bit, the others will go down a little bit, but it is more reflective of how the property sits. We just want to send corrected notices to these 3 individuals, and that's what we're asking from the council today.
Is there a possibility of others that
No.
have been? Okay.
No.
Jennifer, does this have any retroactive proponent to it?
We talked about that. I think that would be something that I know in the past when Kathleen was the assessor, she would go back 5 years and collect taxes or make changes. I don't know that any of the parties are asking for that. That's certainly something we could do, but
What was the year you say that this?
2011,
11, okay.
yeah.
So this is just correcting it going forward, not making a decision of what would happen for retroactively for this property.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions for Jennifer, or do you want to make a motion?
Makes me wonder if the common area was
I think that's what he was thinking at the time.
kind of an inclusive to each one.
And we do that differently now.
Yeah.
We separate that out and value them differently. That common area is actually included. It's separated out and included in each single parcel. So the actual common area is not taxed, but they are taxed on it because it's common area in each individual one. So we've used our formula to correct that, but I think you're right. I think that's probably what happened originally. I don't think there was any ill intent.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve, what are we calling it? This assessment role correction?
Yep.
Probably never felt better about making any motion than this one.
Okay.
We want to get it right.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the assessment role correction that has been presented to us. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
So do I leave these for them to be signed? Is that the process? Okay.
Yeah, if you want to leave it with Andrew,
Andrew will follow through.
he'll take care of it.
Bryce.
Okay. And then do you just return those to us? Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, boy, we are way early on our public hearings, but for those of you that might have come in late, the Funk Richmond gravel pit rezone has been permanently withdrawn, so that won't be discussed tonight. So hopefully we got that message out to enough people. So our first public hearing is the 2025 COG project on 1200 East. Matt, are you presenting that to us?
So
So as Andrew's bringing that up, so that I have some slides to show you, I guess for introductions, Matt Phillips, Public Works Director. If the reason we're here for these public hearings is because in order to apply for COG funding or the Council of Governments, one of the requirements for all projects that are requesting funding is to have a public hearing. And so we're on the agenda tonight to at least introduce the project, give the public a chance to comment on the project. There's no action required by the council other than we'll use the meeting minutes to show that the county was in compliance with the COG rules and we had a public hearing. A few years ago, there were some issues in Providence, so the COG changed the rules. So we tried to go a little above and beyond that this year, and we actually sent some notices out to some of the public that were near and adjacent to those projects to try to even, get questions, try to let people know what's going on. So the first project that we're going to talk about is the 1200 East project. Last year, we did apply for this one. We were unsuccessful, but so the county's going to try to, at least our goal is to apply again for 1200 East. So if Andrew goes to the next slide, a project area, just as a reminder of where this is, the county owns a small little chunk of unincorporated between Hyde Park and North Logan. 1200 East is probably about a half a block long in the county. It's currently a 20-foot wide paved road. It doesn't have any sidewalks, doesn't have a curb and gutter, and it's deteriorating. So, next slide. So if we go to this is a little bit bigger detail of where we are. The proposed project that we're going to apply for COG funding this year would be in that yellow box. This is in conjunction with North Logan. North Logan owns the green area that's shaded. The area with no shaded is Cache County. What's proposed, again, there was about a 20-foot wide paved section there, no curb and gutter. What we're proposing is nearly a 40-foot wide cross section of paved with some bike lanes on the side, curb and gutter, and sidewalk.
Go back, would you, just real quick? You want that last map there? Okay, thank you. I'll ask questions later.
Okay. So that's the proposed cross section. This would meet the.
I can't see at the top where, what's that, is that 66?
Yep, 66.
66 foot cross section, thank you.
So, yeah, it's a lot to fit on one slide. So just a little recap of why we're going after this one. There's been a lot of work on the 1200 East project. It's anticipated to go all the way to Smithfield. It's an important corridor that provides good north-south connection. There isn't a lot of development from the county in that area. Those are all, bigger lots that are, there's not a lot of, so the county would need to go in and do a capital improvement project on this, or we can go look for COG. It is a major collector in all cities, but again, Hyde Park's been working north, North Logan's been working south of that. Our road's getting beat up, the traffic is high. Again, there's operational deficiencies, there's no pedestrian access, there's no bike lanes, the pavement's deteriorating, there's drainage issues. It's just really been one of those roads that the county hasn't done much on. So that's a little bit about the project. If there's any questions from the council, if not, we can.
What is the cross section on the roads both north and south in each of those?
So.
Is it gonna match?
Yes. So North Logan's proposing to put a roundabout at the very south end of that project. Hyde Park already has theirs built out. Their right-of-way is a little bit bigger than ours, but as far as the street cross-section, it should match north and south.
Do you have a projected cost on that you're applying for funding
So
from COG?
this year that we're applying for our COG funds, $4 million.
Okay.
We do have a CMPO that's been granted to us, but it hasn't been finalized, where we have $48,000 to kind of go start looking at the right-of-way and working towards that. But what our application would be towards COG is $4 million.
You notice down at the bottom portion of that, the east side, or east half of that is all North Logan?
All the green is,
Yeah.
so
okay,
pretty much
now-
half, Dave, pretty much half
So
that
we're-
road south is North Logan.
So in that application, are they participated in this
Yes.
application?
That match percentage will be shared
Okay,
by the
thank you.
county, so if we're successful in this, the county would have a 4% match on that,
But that is North Logan's Road.
yes.
Thank
So when we started this project, we went and we were thinking about just our portion that's in the unincorporated part of the county. And we went to North Logan and said, hey, this is a good chance, and so we collaborated with them to make sure that we get this whole section of road improved as opposed to just the county portion.
And they're happy to take it over with it all improved.
Yeah, as far as who's annexing our little section in the near future, I don't know.
It's a race.
But at least that lower section,
Yes.
North Logan will take that.
And I think Hyde Park's working their way down for some of that as well, so.
Is there a race between the two cities? Let's see.
Maybe.
Not sure.
There were some guilty faces.
Now that there's a nice road, there will be. They don't
Yeah.
have to worry about the road.
Oh, good.
So Matt, does it currently kind of go to a nice road and then to our kind of a not as improved road to a nice road? Does it have?
There's a very small portion on the south that was recently developed, and their section or their half of the road is fairly nice.
But it's narrow.
North Logan's part hasn't been improved either. There's no curb and gutter and sidewalk on that portion either.
Okay.
Okay, does anyone else have questions for Matt? This is a public hearing, so this is the time we would invite anyone from the public that would like to speak to this project to please come to the microphone. Please identify yourself and speak clearly. Is there anyone here that would like to speak about this project?
Move to close the public hearing. Second.
Been moved and seconded that we close the public hearing on this project. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. On to the next one.
I don't know if there needs to be any official to open it up, but the next public hearing is me again, so.
Yeah, go ahead and
Okay.
present on this next one, and then we'll open it to the public after you.
So again, same reason why we're here, to open the public hearing. This one is more of a Hyde Park project, but because the county has some incorporated area as part of this project, it's required that both parties have a public hearing. So if you guys are familiar with the Wolfpack Way that's been going past the Green Canyon, this is a proposed project that will extend this to the north boundary of Hyde Park. So this is just kind of looking north. There's been a little extension there that we'll go over in more detail. This slide's a little bit small, but this is kind of the CMPO Regional Transportation Plan. The part that we're talking about is in the little teeny yellow box there. And the point of this slide is to show that road is on the CMPO Regional Transportation Plan, which is part of the county's transportation plan as well. So this is between Smithfield and Hyde Park in the unincorporated part. This is a slide of Hyde Park City's plan. Again, it's just to show you that as part of Hyde Park City Transportation Master Plan, this road does show on their transportation plan. Here's a little bit more of a description. The red part is the previous stuff that the CMPO has been funding. The yellow part is a little section that was done by the developer. And the portion of this project that's coming in for COG funding this year would be that green space.
Up to 4,400.
Up to 4,400, yes.
Okay,
So if I look at these in a little more detail, the red portion is the part that's already been built. That very right side of your screen, or your left side, would be Center Street in Hyde Park. All that you see on your screen, except for the yellow part in the very left-hand bottom corner, or right-hand bottom corner, is in Hyde Park City. The little teeny yellow part is the part that would be constructed and it's being proposed in the county. The first phase of this project goes to that 400 north So this project will get submitted as two applications. One will go from the red to 400 north in Hyde Park, and then the second application would go from 400 north and work its way north. The screen's kind of got a lot on it, but the yellow part and the orange part are in the unincorporated part of the county right now. So you can see that there's a large portion of this road that still falls into the county. The orange part is highlighted because that's currently been submitted for an annexation. And so that's currently going through the annexation part. And if that's successful, that would become part of Hyde Park.
Left is north on this map,
Yeah, right.
right is north.
So Skyview would be towards right. Green Canyon would be,
Okay.
What is,
you have Smithfield,
the green part is unincorporated?
Isn't it yellow?
Or
yellow, greenish,
That-
yes.
That is unincorporated. The section here in the middle is unincorporated, but is proposed to be annexed.
Yes, there's currently an annexation that's been submitted to the county, and that's,
For Hyde
that
Park.
orange part is part of that.
Okay, thank you.
Not really part of this, but I did leave a gap on purpose because their proposed annexation is half that road. So even if that's all annexed in, that connection to 4400 South would still be
Yeah,
the unincorporated part. Smithfield owns the other side of that road. They didn't annex any of the road when they annexed.
So,
So nobody's annexing the road.
Hyde Park would be proposed half of it.
Half of it.
That's an interesting.
that means we don't have to own the other half, though.
No, half of the road is proposed with this annexation of Hyde Park.
And the other half is Smithfield?
The other half is us.
Can we, come
How can we own
on.
half a road?
So
We
this-
gotta put some
yeah,
pressure on them
again,
to own.
not necessarily part of the project, but,
Just the northbound.
yeah,
But it's, yeah,
so.
but as it's annexed, it's
It goes
annexed
to
to
the
the
right?
city. It better be. Yeah,
Right now,
all
the
of the roads.
the proposed annexation right now does not include all of the roads.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
well, then we'll, I think.
so if the county is not for that, that would be, they'd have to.
That will come before us when their annexation.
This is a little bit more of a blow up of that same area, so on this one, Keegan North is north at the top of the screen. Blue is Hyde Park, pink is Smithfield, and the one with no shading is in the unincorporated part of the county. That piece that was highlighted in the last one is that top one, that's Nixon.
That was orange in the last
It
one.
was orange in the last one, yep.
It's just flipped on its side.
So this proposed road is just coming right up the center of those other two roads.
Okay, does anybody have any more questions for Matt?
He still has more.
Oh,
A couple more.
sorry.
Again, we're applying for the COG funding. It talks about the two phases. CMPO's already funded a little over $1 million for some engineering and some right-of-way. So that's moving forward. The way the COG funding works, the construction would probably be in 2027.
We're not having a public hearing on these things right here, are we tonight?
This is all part of the
All
project.
part of what, the whole
Yep,
proposal?
just so that we're given a good background and given some costs.
Okay,
Again, there's two phases. That first phase is 4.3 million. The second phase would be 5.5. It's a little bigger. The right-of-way is a little bit bigger on this one. It will have a bigger path on the one side than what our other proposed cross-section was, but this is consistent with the Wolfpack Way Road and the COG transportation and the CMPO transportation plan for this road. So, any questions, we can come back to them.
Oh, we can come back to the question?
No, I can go back to whatever one you want.
We have two projects that we're going to be submitting to the COG.
Yeah, I think it's important to note on this one, they're not asking for any money from the county, but the county needs to support it because part of that project is in the unincorporated part.
So this is being submitted as a Hyde Park
Correct.
application, but we're supporting it.
We would be a sponsor. So this meeting doesn't discuss that sponsorship or if we're willing to support it, this is give the public an opportunity if they have any protest, if they have any issues. So the county would still need to provide them a support letter, and a lot of times there's a match. In this case, Hyde Park is not asking for any match amounts for any of this project from the county
So when do we decide if we actually support it?
before they submit their application in August.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
If there's no other questions from the council, I did receive one letter as part of the stuff we sent out. It's from the guy who was in the orange, or from Scott. He acknowledged that he is submitted for annexation, and his letter said he has no concerns about Hyde Park proposing to bring this road through his property. So I wanted to make sure that was on the record, so.
Okay. It's now time for the public hearing on this project, the Wolfpack Way, Center Street to Hyde Park to 4400 North. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak on this? Please state your name and let us know how we can help you.
Jim Marshall. I'm a member of the Smithfield Planning Commission, but I'm not here representing Smithfield. I heard there was a gravel pit, wandered in, and got sucked into this conversation. I think this is a major corridor. This is an important road for us. There's a fair amount of density going in along this corridor in North Logan. The Hyde Park General Plan shows that they're going to build their moderate income housing along Wolfpack Way, and Smithfield is building a lot of density within this same corridor. So I'm looking forward to, first I encourage you to work with Smithfield as far as where these roads connect between Hyde Park and Smithfield. Secondly, I encourage you to make sure that we have adequate public transportation going through that section, because that's where we're going to need it. To me, the most important thing in preventing these high density areas from becoming poverty traps instead of launching pads is that they're well connected in terms of transportation, vehicle transportation, public transportation, bicycle and pedestrian transportation, being able to get to commercial centers and stuff like that. So just want to encourage you to do those things, and especially coordinate with Smithfield as we go along. Drag them into this. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak to this project? Please.
Hi, I'm Gene Barron, and I was wondering where that 400 North, it's hard to see with that drawing, but I'd like to see it again. Is there a roundabout on 400 North? That's you're going from Center Street to 400 North. Does that show a roundabout on 400 North?
All right, hold on, Gene.
Just 1 second. Let's just give a second for people to sit down.
I think the door was locked.
Oh, the door to the outside was locked? Okay, okay. Let's finish this one and then we'll.
The exterior.
The door to the building, okay. Okay.
The phase 1 boundary, is that a roundabout there on 400 North?
So by way of introductions, to help answer this question, the engineer for Hyde Park is here, and he can speak to that.
Perfect, thank you. Would you please state your name?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Josh Nelson with Sunrise Engineering here on behalf of Hyde Park City. Appreciate your time this evening going over the project. To answer the question, no, there's not a proposed roundabout planned at 400 North. It's planned at what would be 450, 500 North, just on the next page if we move over one. So that 4,200 North, 500 North, and then it would curve up to 4,200 or 450 North in Hyde Park.
It would be at 4,200 would be the roundabout?
Correct.
But
So further that way.
yeah, what is this on the map that showed it coming from 450? Is that a roundabout, or it's a big blue circle there? That's why I was confused.
Yes, it's an exhibit of a roundabout, but that's not, it's going to be further north of the
Okay,
exhibit
that's
that's
why I was
being
confused.
presented.
But it's going to line up with the roundabout, will line up with the airport road.
Yes, correct.
The traffic signal.
Correct.
It's actually the old drawing from 22 that shows it there. Is that the correct?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
That's what it is. Okay.
So Josh, just for clarification, the roundabout in this map here is a proposed roundabout. That one's not already there? Or is that the one?
Correct. That is,
Okay, the one started there is farther.
that's a proposed roundabout at 500 North in Hyde Park, which is 4,200 North in the county, which is the road just north of the airport.
Yep.
There, in a future phase of the project, there will also be another roundabout proposed at 4400 North. That's not being built as part of this project.
Okay. Mr. Barron, did that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Okay, is there anyone else here from the public to talk about the Wolfpack Way project? Okay, so motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we close public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it has come to my attention that there were several people here to, for the public hearing on the previous project that we just spoke about, but they couldn't get in the building. So I'm going to reopen public hearing on that and ask if there's anyone here to speak about the COG project on 1200 East. If anyone is here for that project? Is that, did I misunderstand? Okay, if you'd come to the podium one at a time, or that's the podium, and state your name, and please keep your remarks to 2 minutes, if you would, with this many people. And try not to repeat the same thing. If you have the same opinion as someone else, then that's great. So, go ahead.
Do we have to vote to reopen that? Do we have to vote to reopen?
Do we have to vote?
So, yeah.
Well, we closed it.
Okay, we will take a vote first to reopen the public hearing. Could I have a motion on that?
I'd make a motion that we reopen the public hearing on the 1200 East project.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we reopen the public hearing on the 2025 COG project, 1200 East. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead and.
Yeah, my name is Steve Parkinson, and I'm a resident of 1200 East. I just got this notice in the mail today, so I'm a little bit unprepared, but I don't think any of us have questions other than we thought you guys were going to tell us what was going on, and then we would have questions.
Okay, Matt did give a presentation about it, Matt Phillips, and so maybe we could ask him to come up and give another overview of what that project is.
Just so we're clear, though, it says the meeting starts at 5:30, and we're here at 5:30. So if we've missed it, Matt's got to come up and bring us up to speed, and then we'll have some questions.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we got to our public hearings a little bit earlier tonight than normal.
Okay, for you guys that were here before 5:30, I apologize that you need to listen to me again, but for the record, Matt Phillips, Public Works Director. If we go back, this is a project location of 1200 East. This is the unincorporated part. It's between North Logan and Hyde Park. This is a blow-up of the project. Again, this is a project that's coordinated between North Logan and the county. The portion that you see up there on the screen that's not colored is the county portion. The blue is Hyde Park and the green is North Logan. This is the proposed cross-section of that road. That's a 66-foot right-of-way, curb and gutter, sidewalks. And as mentioned earlier, right now that road's about a 20-foot wide. It might be 21 feet. So this would have bike lanes on the side, a little bit of a buffer with 11-foot travel lanes in this area from 31 to 34. Why this is on the list, why the county's seeking funding for this is it's an important north-south corridor. There's been a lot of work south of this through Logan, through North Logan, and Hyde Park's done a lot north of here, so this is a kind of a pinch point that hasn't had any work done on it. It complements the other projects that have been done in the area. It's on the CMPO list of significant projects. This right now, it is a through street. That's why the county, we're getting traffic from Hyde Park. We're getting traffic from North Logan. The road's falling apart. It has some drainage issues. Snow removal's not that great. It's an old road. So I'll leave this one up there if there's people that want to comment on their property or where they're at. We applied last year for funding for this project, but because of the tight and all the other applicants, it was kind of postponed till this year. Those costs have escalated this year. Again, we'll be going after $4 million for this. That's right now it's not funded, so the county's gonna have to apply for an application. They'll have to go in, finish up that design, fine tune the drainage, work with the property owners and that along this corridor. And so those plans will be forthcoming. Right now, this is just an application into COG to receive that funding, and construction would probably start somewhere in 2027, so.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Okay, Mr. Parkinson, if you want to.
So based on what Matt just said, this may be a little too early. Is it too early to ask questions like, is the road being expanded right from the center equally in both directions? Where's the location of the sidewalks? How far from the curb? Water usage as it goes down the road, that kind of stuff. Can we ask those questions now, or do we need to, can we get a copy of those somewhere, or?
Yes, we can make those available. I guess, Matt, do you want to?
This is on the media. This is on the media.
Yeah, this is on the media packet that's posted on the county website. Oh, it's not, but it can.
So far, this is all we've got.
So again, we sent the letter out just so that these residents were aware that there is this public hearing tonight. These designs are not finalized, we're there, so all the details that Mr. Parkinson's asking for can be sent to him with what we are proposed now. But it's not too late, these are still plans in the works. A lot of these landowner discussions will be forthcoming if that grant is successful, so.
Okay, thank you.
So will there be another meeting further on that we come and ask, or do we just direct them to you?
I'm trying to come up here so you people can hear me. Those meetings will go through the COG process, and then a lot of those will go through the engineering, they'll go through the land acquisition, they'll go through that process. This meeting is not necessarily designed to answer all the questions, because a lot of those are still forthcoming as far as the design. So as we work with those landowners, some of those very nitty details will come forward.
Matt, you did a good job explaining the first time that this is just getting the public's input for us to go and take this to ask the COG for funding, for us to have discussion to ask the COG for funding, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
So if
this is very preliminary.
there was a lot of people that were opposed to it, that would be a good thing, that know that, hey, the county's going in the wrong direction. If we need to change the pavement width, if we need to put, it's possible that the sidewalk might not fit on both sides. There might be some terrain issues or landscaping issues where some of those things might not always be feasible. But to this point, we haven't paid for that final design. We've moved it forward enough that we can have an idea and kind of an estimated cost of what our full build out would be. So, but generally we are trying to keep it in the center. We're trying to make sure that we're working, trying to fit that in there the best we can, knowing that this is a developed area and people have mature landscaping, they have access to their driveways. And so each one of those landowners that's there, such as Mr. Parkinson, will have an opportunity to review those plans with us and the engineer and try to make sure that we're addressing any of the concerns they have with pipes, drainage, those types of things. So.
Okay, does that explain better that this meeting really isn't about approving this, it's just a preliminary, we'd like to get the public input to give to the Public Works?
And I appreciate that, and thank you, council, for that. We didn't really know what it was, so we appreciate that. And I want to just say thanks to Matt Phillips. I've worked with him on other issues in the past, and he's been very, very helpful. And for those that want to talk to him, he's very, very approachable, understandable, and he's kind when he's telling you that something you don't like. But he's a pretty good guy, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, if you'd like to speak, please state your name.
You want a picture ID too? Rick Lungman, I'm a landowner up there. My questions are this, to be addressed sometime. Is there land acquisition anticipated for this? Because is this a right-of-way? Are you planning on buying private property? But about relocations of irrigation lines? I've got a green belt there that's just a little over 5 acres. Will that be protected? Will these be answered at some point? And how soon will that be? Before you start developing it? Specifically, land acquisition.
So that would be the first part of the project. So if we're, part of our 4 million ask is so that we have that money that we can go in and start to work with those landowners to purchase that right away. So this would be, you know, we are gonna have to probably come and get some right away in portions, and that's gonna depend on that final design. But our goal would be to try to secure 66 feet through this corridor.
So currently, where the road is, that's a right-of-way, correct?
Correct.
So ownership is the private property at this point of that road.
The county owns it.
County owns the road, but if you look at the property lines, it looks like we're right in the middle of the asphalt.
So I don't have an exact picture of where those property lines are now. Our surveyor has had those. Josh from Sunrise might be able to have that off the top of his head. But there is some public right-of-way on there, and then there is some that the county's gonna have to come out and work with the landowners to secure that additional right-of-way. You know, right now, there's no curb, there's no sidewalk, so as you push that out, you're gonna have to come in and work with those landowners to procure that right-of-way or purchase that right-of-way, purchase your private property from you guys.
And I'm not against the development, I like what's happening, but irrigation lines will have to be relocated at, I'm assuming, the expense of the project.
Correct.
And also, as far as, in my case, I've got some sensitivity on greenbelt. Will that be affected if you acquire part of my property and I lose my greenbelt status?
So I'm not an expert on the greenbelt status, but I know that the state code has changed and it's more in favor of when county projects or city projects are coming in. And so that's something we can work out with the people that are experts on the greenbelt, but our goal is not to, you know, punish anyone or get them taken out of greenbelt. So we will work with the property owners if that puts them a little short, but, you know, back taxes, those types of things have all been changed by state code. So as the county comes in and purchases that land, you know, the state code has changed that, where a lot of those property owners used to have to pay back taxes, and that would go into some of that cost that would be associated with, you know, buying the right of way. But again,
So are you saying that the green belt could be in jeopardy then? If I've got 5 acres and you pull out a quarter, will I lose my green belt status?
so again, I'm not an expert on that one, so I will try to get the answers to that and get those to you, and and we can work with you on that.
Yeah, and this is for the public hearing. You can give your opinion and what you would like to see, and then everyone else can give their opinions, but to work out those details with the Public Works, you will have that opportunity. This is not tonight.
Great, I appreciate that. So the next step would be when? When will we be contacted? Will there be surveys?
Yes.
That'd be the next step? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Who else would like to speak about their concerns about this project?
My name is Nathan Holt. I live in North Logan, just south of this project. And for 35 years, we've traversed this section of road, walking, running, riding our bikes, often to Mack Park, often up Smithfield Canyon. And I see many runners still using it. It's dangerous because there's no room for both cars, pedestrians, bikes. It's a wonderful project, so I'm glad it's being proposed, and I look forward to seeing it finished. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this project?
Move to close public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close the public hearing on the COG project on 1200 East. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you all for being here, and I know that you didn't get a lot of information, but there'll be more coming, so thank you for your input. Okay. Andrew, are you doing D, the drainage district?
You bought his house?
He doesn't know, but.
The first one?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear that last word.
No, I don't see, hang on. 7, it's not in our packet.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, council. During your meetings in May, you heard from applicants to serve on the 4 drainage district boards in Cache County and made appointments to fill the vacancies on said boards. While there was a good amount of applicants to those boards and subsequent appointments, there were still several openings on 2 of the boards, District Number 3 and then District Number 5's boards. So I circulated an extended notice of vacancy to solicit applicants for these openings, but as of today, I have received no additional applicants. So that being said, moving forward, there are several options that could be taken. First, it needs to be noted that District 3 has a majority of its membership filled. 2 of the 3 seats are occupied by members that you guys appointed. So there's 1 spot that needs to be filled. However, with District Number 5, 1 of 3 spots has been filled. So there are 2 vacant spots, and so District Number 5 is unable to conduct business at the moment. So that being said, first, I recommend that there be a second extended public notice of vacancy to be published, just to help ensure there's compliance with state code and public noticing and all that. Then, this might be a little unconventional, but I recommend there be an outreach to former board members of districts number 3 and number 5 to see if they would be interested in serving again, just so that there can be a functional membership at least on number 5 as well. And I think this has been a large point of confusion as to whether or not someone knows if they're in a drainage district or not. This is nothing against GIS or anyone who does any of the mapping in that sense, but I know that some of the maps are really old, and getting that information shared between, I think it's like the Lieutenant Governor's office, I think the assessor's office is involved at some point. So anyway, I would recommend that there be an updated district boundary map put together. So I know that that isn't exactly all within the purview of the council, but that's my recommendation. So if you would like to, I can circulate a second notice, extended notice of vacancy as a start, but from there, I'm going to need some direction from you guys.
That survey, that extensive survey was completed.
I believe so.
Of the specific to all the boundaries of those.
Yes, that was.
Whether it's been,
Put into the map.
Yeah,
Updated
that's
everywhere.
been put into GIS and all those things. That's the next step. We're sent to the state. I do not know.
Yep, no, I know, for example, in District Number 6, they recently completed an annexation, and the information was filed with the state, but for whatever reason, we aren't exactly seeing that information in our systems yet. So, anyway.
How unconventional do we want to get? Can Dave offer to make him Rice Krispie treats, or?
No, I like the idea of contacting former board members to see if they might be interested and do the second notice. Yeah.
Yep,
If we need that map updated, we need to get that on that too.
I agree.
I wish they would just all come together as one drainage district.
I personally would love that idea. However, there is a prohibition in state code saying that no new drainage districts can be created, and from what I understand legally.
That you can combine.
From what I understand legally, that also could fall under that. The combining could fall under the creation of a new district. So, again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know that for a fact, but.
I know one.
So this is, this falls under our public hearing. We don't have any names to present in the public hearings, what you're saying.
Pretty much. So I'm going to need some direction at some point from you guys on what to do.
I would say we just got to further reach out.
Do the second notice.
Okay.
And to former board members?
Second notice and
Well,
proactive.
actually, some of the former board members, they're buried right now.
They've
passed.
So,
There's not that many.
so there may not be very many that are raising their hand, and that is an issue with, there's about 3 of the drainage districts out there. They have a really hard time getting people to participate.
So can we direct our attorney's office to look into that law to see if we can combine?
It's under Title 17B, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's, let's pursue.
Okay. I was going to say, I did have a brief initial discussion with Jairus, but I didn't ever get like a legal written opinion or anything like that, so.
I think it'd be good to reach out to the state and our state director over special districts. He would have all the details and say, hey, this is how you're going to do it, and this is how you'll put it together.
Okay, I can do that.
He helped us even get it organized to the point to where most of them were actually doing something.
And self-sufficient. Yeah.
You need a motion or just a verbal nod to go ahead with your?
I was going to say, unless you guys object, I'm going to take that as direction.
Okay. Thanks, Andrew.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
LeGrand Bitter is the director.
Okay.
Special districts.
Okay.
I say we could contact him directly.
Okay.
Say, here's our dilemma, and he'll say, this is how we fix it.
Sounds good.
Let's move on to 8A, the resolution from the County Sheriff's Office firearm disposal policy. Do we have someone from the Sheriff's Office to present that, or have they asked you to do it?
I was going to say, so initially, this policy was,
Through OMP.
yes, so this did go through OMP, and so Andrew Crane did most of the work on this, and I'm very grateful for that, so I'm not going to steal any of his credit, but this piece of, what is it? I think it's Resolution 2025-30. So it does have to deal with firearm disposal with the Sheriff's Office. So state law allows the sheriff to sell confiscated or unclaimed firearms that are no longer needed as evidence to federally licensed dealers. But state law requires that the council give permission for the proceeds of those sales for the public interest use of those. So essentially, this resolution provides permission from you guys to provide the proceeds from those sales to a specific public interest, and the one in the resolution is just straight to the general fund. So, do you guys have any questions?
I just had a question. Is it any FFL, or do we designate who that is? Like, I know Al's is an FFL, for example. Is that, how does that work?
If I recall, part of the statute, it says something about any retailer that is federally licensed, so.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that's too much of an answer, though.
Yeah, do they auction it, or?
You would have to ask the sheriff on that.
Typically, the sheriff's department has a standing contract with, where they have a set negotiated rate in advance for those sales.
Okay, and they buy them in bulk, and that's the money that goes into the general fund?
Correct.
Okay.
Would, under this proposal.
Yeah.
Does anybody know? Is that very many?
Yeah, does it happen very
I was
often?
going to say, I don't think so, no. I don't think this would be, supplementing the
budget.
current
Dang it.
Sorry to disappoint, but,
But someone could buy NBA Young Boys
So you're
guns?
saying we get money?
no comment.
Well, what it does is it also redirects the funds to where it loses identity with the sheriff's office. They lose control of, goes back in the general fund, so then the council then can redistribute.
Yep.
It isn't very much, though.
Yep, no, this is just a technicality.
He said a lot of what he does have is not even usable.
A lot of it's illegal. Yes.
These are probably legal.
Comes in
firearms.
is not something that would ever see
Right.
Yep.
anything but a scrap.
Okay, I move to approve resolution
You need to
2025.
suspend the rules, I
I need to suspend I'm going to suspend the rules and move to approve resolution 2025-30, County Sheriff's Office firearm disposal policy.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded that we approve, suspend the rules and approve resolution 2025-30. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Okay, 2025-31, is that you, Andrew?
Yes, so resolution 2025-31 is about approving a lease with Providence City to, approving a lease agreement with Providence City for county library usage where it's currently being housed. So if it's all right with you guys, I would like to turn the time over to Councilmember Mark Hurd. He has a lot more details on this than I do. So.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, so as I think some or all of the council is aware, and maybe some in the public are aware, but Cache County does have a county library, and it's available to all residents of Cache County. It has been in operation in that state since 1997, but it was fairly recently discovered that that agreement needed to be updated. And so after several reviews and discussions, negotiations with Providence City, et cetera, between the library board, the executive's office, myself included in those discussions, the proposed lease agreement has been put together and basically addresses continuing operations at status quo with a couple of changes, but basically it just is codifying, or not codifying, but documenting the arrangement, the relationship between Cache County through the Cache County Library and the use of the building in Providence where that library is currently located. The library board, and now as of last week, Providence City Council have approved this, so this is the last step in if the agreement were to be approved. A couple of items that are new out of this discussion is that this being a lease, it comes with terms and conditions, et cetera. And rather than just read through all that or go over it, I'll field questions in a moment about the details that are listed there. But just for context for everyone, there's a 9-page document that we are looking at here. But the term of the lease would be for 3 years, and Cache County would pay Providence City $1 each year for the lease of that space. And the document includes a renewal process, which again would just continue the same, extend another 3 years for $1 per year for the lease. One of the things that was in the previous contract or previous agreement between the county and Providence City was that, and it was unclear to the library board and anyone currently involved in Providence City or Cache County as to why, but the county has been historically invoicing Providence City for about $17,000 annually, but it was unclear as to what that was supposed to cover, what those charges specifically addressed. And so after reviewing a lot of things and weighing all the circumstance, and Dirk, please interject anything that is relevant in summarizing the negotiations, but this document recognizes that that $17,000 will no longer be invoiced by the county to Providence City. Part of the reason for that would be that it was unclear as to why. Second, Providence City is offering the building at a cost of only $1, which is status quo. They haven't, there hasn't been a cost to use the building, and clearly Providence is interested in doing this so that they have a library in their area, and the county is interested in doing it because that means there is somewhere to have the library. Some of the details in here under Article 6 is the shakeup, or not shakeup, in this structuring, kind of shaking out into 2 buckets, where the maintenance costs and which entity is responsible for which maintenance or facilities related things, whether it be the county or Providence City. For the county, a lot of that would fall to the library and library staff, as well as some supplement or support from county facilities group and Dennis's group. But let's see. A next step, just for context, a relevant point to this would be when this document is approved, then it would also necessitate a rewrite of the bylaws for the county library board. The main reason for that need would be that River Heights City has had by the bylaws, a city council member as a voting member of the board. And that was because that 17,000 the county was reimbursed or was invoicing, Providence City would invoice some of that on to River Heights. And River Heights not being a part of this lease, therefore they would no longer have a default seat on that board. And then the bylaws will need to be rewritten to accommodate for that, which would mean Providence City would have a board member, the county would have a board member, which is one of the council members, and then as far as these are voting members, there's other, and we could have as many non-voting members as whatever we decide, which is kind of the current case.
River Heights would not have a seat.
River Heights would not have a default seat.
Okay.
It could still be whoever, was selected, and those appointments all come through the council. But just for context, the proposal would be to consider, like I said, Cache County has a council member, Providence City would have a council member on that board, and then the other elected official board to that board could be, at least bylaws define, another from a south city or community, and one or two more from the north or something like that, so that it is bringing involvement and engagement and other communities to the discussion of the board. So that would come down the road. This obviously would have to happen first before that would be anything that would take place. Andrew, Dirk, did I miss anything? Yes, so along with the use of the building, Providence City will also, starting if this lease is approved, would provide the internet service to the building at no cost, which our current state has been a contract through another internet provider that the county has been paying. So we would experience a significant annual savings from that. So
I have a
some
question.
costs will go up, some costs will go down, things will kind of shake out, but.
There's, in 6C, it says that the lessor, which is us, will be responsible for maintenance and repair of the premises, but not limited to the foundation, the walls, the ceilings, and the roof. What condition is that building in? Are we taking on something that's going to cost, do we have a condition report on it, or is it being given to us in good repair before we take on that liability? Isn't that what, am I interpreting that correctly?
Lessor would be Providence City.
Oh, I thought they're the lessee. I thought we were the leaseor. No, I'm confused, right? I've got it backwards.
I'm thinking, I thought so.
Somebody enlighten me.
It's, the lessor is who owns the property, and the lessee is the person renting the property.
Okay, so they're responsible for the roof. Okay. I had that backwards, thank you.
Along those lines, it does say in 6A that the telephone and data chargers will be by the lessee. So do we need to update that since they are going to cover the internet?
That, certainly will need to be updated, yes.
I also think you did a great job negotiating that deal. And
Shrewd.
at $1 a year, didn't chisel them down to 80 cents, huh? But no, just.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I will interject that, note that the county budget would have to increase a bit by that absence of that $17,000
Right.
That we were invoicing them and they were paying it every year, but we don't know
They have
what.
paid it every year, but nobody,
There's gotta be reason for that.
I would think so, but there's nothing stipulated in any of
the
the
way
documentation, even in 97.
The way it sounds to me like that was probably their portion to have access for the River Heights and for Providence, probably their access to that library as basically also their library.
And that was thrown around as a discussion point, but the reality
Now we're
is.
just taking that out, and they still get the library, probably don't have to pay anything for it.
Well, all
Well,
residents of the county.
every resident is already paying it because all of this is funded out of the general fund. So their residents are paying in the general fund tax, and they also were offering the building at no compensation. So you're right,
But where it's at, and it.
They
Location.
paid to have it in their city. Did they throw that in when it was being negotiated?
It appears so. I mean, I think you're right. I think that's probably why it was located there, and that was a Providence carrot to get the county to use that location at that time, but
So how
that was
about,
30 years ago.
so how about all these other cities that have gone to the expense of their own libraries? And they're funding them, and their house, and they're taking care, they still have access to the county library, right?
Correct.
But they're pulling dollars out of their city budget to actually have one.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
Yeah,
now
that is
now
their
we're just
choice.
specifically going to Providence and River Heights, now you can't do that. Because they were putting dollars toward having
Sure,
their own
yeah,
library.
they were, I mean,
That is
We're
operating on
already
the.
Then I
providing
think
the
the county
building.
needs to get out of the library business and then leave that to the cities.
And I think we
Probably
need a
different
countywide
discussion,
library.
but, What I was gonna say with the $1 a year being a good deal, I did see in the agreement, it said we have to notice 180 days before if we wanna renew. So whose responsibility is that to make sure that we don't forget to do that? Is that an executive function, Dirk?
Yes.
Put a calendar reminder.
Brendan and I have already put it on our calendar.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Anybody else have questions for Mark about this lease? Any concerns about the lease?
Location of it, just basically the whole north half of Cache County really doesn't have access to it.
right, and, I mean, product of having only one location, that will be the case no matter where it's located, right? That's
And,
just
and
reality.
Logan residents don't have a strong reason to use it either, because
Exactly.
they have a library
Exactly.
too, so.
So I
yeah.
think we really ought to rethink this whole thing, to be honest with you. If anything, I think we'd be better to circulate the dollars that we're spending in the countywide library, circulate those to the cities that have libraries, so they can even upgrade or do something that everyone is using wherever you are.
Except
A
people that
lot
don't,
like the fire district, this sounds like a library.
I was gonna say
discussion.
fire district, waste management, library, rec center, I mean, that's a big discussion.
but the people that are in unincorporated parts of the county can't use the city libraries without paying extra. So,
This is their library, albeit
is their
very
library.
far away
Sounds
from
very
other.
familiar.
Even just to get like Libby though.
yeah, they could sign up
Get
for
the
Libby
app.
and access things electronically.
Exactly.
All that is currently available.
So do we need more brick and mortar walls?
To some people, it's really important if you take your grandkids to the library. And I don't know how much it gets used, but
The brick and mortar element of this is costing us $1. So.
No,
Minus,
it's costing us now.
plus you gotta have the facilities, so another 20, so 20,000.
We're losing $16,999 now.
Well, if we can triangulate what that's for, and if we're actually losing it, or, I think that's the key, right, is, and I agree with Dave that we should probably exhaust our due diligence on
Yes.
where that, what that was for.
We would love the support to help us understand.
There's gotta be an
what that agreement really
There's
meant.
gotta be an agreement somewhere.
In 1997, we have it.
I don't
That's
think
it.
we just send a bill for 17,000 just for kicks and giggles. There's gotta be an agreement
That's
somewhere.
why we're having this discussion, because
So-
that seemed unfounded.
So I don't think we even,
Valley that would have a
so I
library.
will not vote in favor of this until we find out more details.
okay. And in there, I would wonder if in Providence City, in their financial, like as they pay that bill every year, does it have some kind of a byline that says, a line item that says what this money's for? Maybe they have documentation that
They
we
didn't
don't.
bring it up in any of the discussions when
Sure
asked,
they don't, they don't want.
but we asked them for it all.
Paper you want it.
Anyway,
Always want
it's been thorough and exhaustive discussion, has it not, Dirk?
It has.
And Eric Davis from the county attorney's office was present in every discussion. Andrew was present for a couple. Rena was there for most. And there's been a lot of eyes look at it, and I've updated most of us along the way, so.
Okay.
If you hold any keys to the secrets of the past, it would be great to know them now.
Okay, I would entertain a motion on this resolution, or do you want to continue it?
Actually, continue it.
Yeah,
This is
it
the
would
initial
require
proposal.
Suspending the rules, right?
Okay, if we're gonna continue this, please make sure you do some questioning and spend the time between now and the next meeting, just get any information you need to take a vote, so that you feel comfortable voting, if that, is that,
Yeah, I would say
fair.
just if we could make a note about the internet being included.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, we can get
6A.
that- We can get that
6A.
detail changed.
Okay. All right, we'll continue that one. Okay. 8D, ordinance 2025-22, alcohol local consent licensing option amendment. This is different than what's in our packet?
Yes, no, this is just a summary and explanation.
Okay.
Okay. So from what I understand, the county code regarding alcohol licensing was amended twice last year when Micah was still around. And it's really interesting to go ahead and see just the rearrangement of the whole process. I know that last year you guys added, I believe, 3 options for licensing, and that included some form of a winery in unincorporated parts of the county. So anyway, to continue that track and tradition, third one is the charm, I suppose. But yes, this is ordinance 2025-22, alcohol consent licensing options amendment. So this would be amending county code it would be adding 2 more options for local consent to be provided for licensing. So state law gives local control on many alcohol regulations. This ordinance clarifies which specific types of state licenses require or receive, which ones are able to receive local consent in Cache County. And so the 3 that are currently there are winery manufacturing, a Type 5 packaging agency, a single event or temporary beer event permit. But the 2 new ones would be limited service restaurant licenses and on-premise banquet licenses. If you guys look at the summary that I just gave you, it breaks down the 2 additional types down. So the first one, the limited service restaurant license. License permits a person to store, sell, offer for sale, furnish, or allow the consumption of wine, heavy beer, or beer on the premises. It's designed for establishments that primarily serve food, requiring at least 70% of gross revenues to come from food sales. There are 2 additional subtypes from this. One is called a master limited service restaurant license. That's if you own multiple different establishments that have this one license. That's kind of more of an administrative thing. And the second subtype is a seasonal limited service restaurant license. Let's say you're a ski resort and you don't see a lot of traffic during the summer. It might make sense for you to have a seasonal B winter operation, a seasonal limited license. So essentially that one basically would allow mainly food serving establishments to have the option to serve wine, heavy beer, or beer on premises. Subject to certain limitations and terms. But the second type is the on-premise banquet license. And now this one's a little bit more restrictive. The first one, you could kind of just walk into any establishment with that license and say, okay, I'd like to buy a beer or whatever. With the on-premises banquet license, it's actually a little bit more restrictive in that you have to require a list of people who are coming to an event who you have to have. It's a lot more restrictive in that it's a more closed off thing. This license permits a person to store, sell, offer for sale, furnish, or allow for the consumption of an alcohol product in connection with a banquet and room service activities, specifically for establishments like hotels, resort facilities, sports centers, convention centers, performing arts facilities, amphitheaters, etc. So, but yes, providing these 2 types would open up that option. I'm not sure if Councilmember Tidwell would like to give a little bit more background on what exactly started the process, if that's all right.
I can do that. Beaver Mountain and Justin Hamilton came to us because they have built on to their facility, right? and they're looking to have a restaurant there and looking to serve alcohol to those who come and use that restaurant. They visited with the sheriff, and because there was initially a concern listed about, traffic going through the canyon after there had been drinking up there, the sheriff gave his consent on this. He sees no problem with it, and so that's where it came from.
I was gonna say, I should have also said this did go through O&P, so.
Yeah, it did go through O&P.
I was gonna say, his consent is based on that, then you would have controlled sales.
Yes, essentially, instead of having people drink in the parking lot, yeah,
Parking lots.
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
That way you could at least cut someone off if there's an establishment.
True.
Trying to you'd get a better handle.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Okay, does anyone else have questions for Barbara or?
Just a question about the licensing, because it says amended from time to time. Do we have a guideline on how long the license is valid?
Specifically, when it talks about amended from time to time, I think that's more of a reference to just state code changing, because if I recall correctly, I think there was a Salt Lake Tribune story on it, but every single legislative session, there's always a set of bills targeted at alcohol specifically, so that section of code changes a lot. But as for the license length itself, that's not something I can recall off the top of my head, but I know you have to go through a process to renew it.
Andrew, I don't know if you're prepared to speak to this, but do you know what some of our neighboring counties, what they have for licensing?
I can't give you specifics, no, but from what I understand, and I think regardless of whether you think this is a bad or a good thing, I think Cache County has a rather restrictive local consent options list, so I'm not willing to say what types, but I'm certain other counties are a little bit more accommodating than Cache County, but again, can't speak to that for a fact.
Okay, anybody else?
Did we even
Questions?
talk about the potential tax revenue? It seems like that should be part of it, right?
Sweet.
I know,
From
anything,
alcohol
we're
sales.
always looking for revenue. Okay, yes.
Is it the same like application process as like a winery?
Yep.
Okay, so the same fee and everything?
Yep.
I was in charge of that, so I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Which goes right to the state.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't, no revenue for us.
Well,
Except
there
for
will be
sales tax.
Sales
Sales
tax,
tax.
Yes.
but as far as the licensing process, all that stuff,
Yeah, it's the same.
basically controlled at the state level.
Go to the
We
state.
have an application
Yep.
and then the sheriff's consent.
Is alcohol wraps tax too? That would be part of the sales tax, or is that just prepared food?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If it's
It's
part of the
wrapped.
restaurant, then
It's a restaurant tax, yeah.
if it's sold at the restaurant, yes.
All right, does anyone want to make a motion on this ordinance?
I will make a motion that we,
I think you have to suspend the rules because it's initial. Okay,
trying to get it out,
okay, sorry.
that we suspend the rules on ordinance number 2025-22, alcohol local consent licensing options amendment.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 2025-22. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to learn more a little bit about the licensing and what other counties do, so.
Yep.
If we're voting on it today, I'm probably gonna vote no, not necessarily because I oppose it, just because I'm not ready to vote on it today.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, are there other people that we can continue this one as well? But there has been a motion made. Does anyone want to second Barbara's motion?
I did.
Nolan already did.
Okay.
Second, we're just in discussion period.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, that was where my only hesitation is just I don't know. I feel like I need a little bit more information. Not saying I'm opposed to it, just.
I think a good county probably to talk with, or if you want to compare with, would be Weber County.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which has
similar
very
situation, similar.
Yeah.
If you go up into
Ski resorts.
Powder Mountain, all the places, they do have, alcohol that's provided at those facilities.
Well, I do know when we talked about the alcohol before, we were questioning, you had a question, Keegan, on licensing and everything else. The state is heavily involved on these licenses. And
Yes.
so,
Yeah,
I
I'd
give
like to see-
deference to Sheriff Jensen and the ONP, so.
Yep, and I should clarify, this is, what you guys would be approving is just one step in the licensing process. That's when you guys say, we give her okay for the process to move forward. That doesn't necessarily say, okay, we're gonna grant you an alcohol license automatically.
They've got state to go through like
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I have a motion that's been seconded that we approve ordinance 2025-22. Those in favor say aye.
Real quick, I have a quick question on this. Would this include like a truck, like when they have food trucks? Or, again, if it was compliant with, state code? Because I know state code is much more rigorous, but this is just giving them the okay, it could be allowed in Cache County.
Like at the Cache Event Center, for example, if you wanted to throw an
If
event and get a
it,
temporary
if it
banquet
were,
license.
yeah, if it were allowed
Well,
with
the
state
Cache
code, because
Event
state code is
Center-
more prohibitive
The
than
Cache Event Center would then work under the regulations
Of the state.
Logan City.
Yep.
Logan City, yes,
And
okay.
you'd work through them, and that's how they would get theirs.
So ours are just the unincorporated
And-
parts of the county.
Any
Unincorporated.
other organization there would have to go according, like, anything within the county, again, you're gonna go through the process, you're gonna fill out the application as such, and again, go through the state to get that application filled out.
Okay. So,
So back to the food truck.
back to the food truck question.
They would
That's
have-
what I'm just saying, is this like, would this be allowed if it were, because we talk about seasonal or limited?
Yep.
You know, you'd have to look at the application.
Yeah, and from what I understand, these licenses require, like, I think,
Mississippi.
the first one talked about like having a bar of a certain length and a certain size, and
So they're not allowed any.
yeah, no, it wouldn't be, food trucks would not be allowed from my understanding of.
So that goes back to the more restrictive Utah umbrella kind of law
Yeah.
of where it would govern this. This just allows that, we would allow this type to go and see if it complies with Utah law.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Okay, that's what I'm.
Catherine, to answer your question, I can list off at least the different types of beer licenses that Weber County does allow, if you like. Okay, so they allow a Class A beer license, which is allowing for the sale and consumption of beer on premise of the business. Yep, they have a Class B beer license, which is kind of a little bit more along the lines of also serving alcohol, beer specifically with food. And Class C is when you can sell beer on draft for consumption on or off the premises. But otherwise, there's that. And then there's the temporary beer event permit, which you guys also had decided. Yeah, so those are at least the beer-related ones. I don't,
Kind of similar.
Yeah.
and from what I understand, everything that you guys have approved so far doesn't approve anything regarding like hard liquor or anything that would cause someone to get extremely drunk very quickly, so. I don't know if that's also a concern that you guys have, like safety-wise, so.
No, I think it cleared up. I mean, this is kind of, the state houses all these other laws and we just say,
Our local consent.
we give consent for you to go to the
Yeah.
state and,
Yep.
and follow the rules that are set forth within the state.
With this being for Beaver
Within
Mountain,
these
right?
parameters, these specific parameters.
Yep.
Sorry to keep.
I was just gonna say, with this being for Beaver Mountain, I imagine that's not gonna really be impacted till the ski season anyway, right? So,
I was gonna say I don't ski, but I wouldn't know.
They may be open year round.
They
I don't
do
know.
some seasonal stuff up there
yeah,
too.
but anyway,
Okay.
I just don't know if it needs to be urgent tonight, and I don't
I
know
don't
if
know
I
if I-
wanna set that precedent.
Having said that, I don't know if I need much more research. I think I'm.
And it's not limited to just one entity.
There's too many
This is, we passed this, it's open to everyone.
Time sensitive, Barbara?
Pardon me?
Is it time sensitive, Barbara?
Yes, in a way it is, because their season will be starting shortly.
They'd have to go
Because
through
now
the
the
state
state, this
process.
triggers them to go to the state for the state
That's
process.
why they're trying
Okay,
to
okay,
start early.
Yeah, and thank you, council, for humoring me. I think there isn't much more that I would do in the next 2 weeks, so that's helped me. Thank you.
All right, I will try again. It has been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 2025-22. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that passes. All right, ordinance 2025-23, the proclamation policy.
This is also me, but, so, ordinance 2025-23 is something that, first and foremost, kind of came from me because I was, I believe it was during Law Enforcement Week, when the county council jointly issued a proclamation with the county executive. I thought, oh, well, that's rather nice, and so I went scouring through county code to be like, okay, like, what's the process? You know, this might be nice to do later on in the year for other events. Like, for example, there is a, if I can recall it quickly. Yep, for example, April 13th through April 20th of 2026 is going to be Dark Sky Week, which is when you essentially get out, do stargazing, just things like that to be recognized. So I was thinking, well, if the council needs to ever issue a proclamation, what's the process? And I went scouring through code and I couldn't find anything. I checked and I double checked. And so I was rather confused if this was just a process that kind of happened unofficially or what, but I checked with other counties and other municipalities. They actually do have formal processes on them, and so I think this would be great to add. This would just be codifying a formal process by which proclamations are issued on behalf of the county. So, like I said, currently there's no formal process in county code for public-facing proclamations, and I need to make that distinction because public-facing proclamations are the ones like Law Enforcement Week or International Dark Sky Week, things like that. But under county code and parts of state code, if I recall correctly, the county executive has the ability to declare a state of emergency under certain circumstances. So in this policy, I made that distinction between the two, saying that this is what this policy addresses is the public-facing ones, the special weeks, days, memorials, that type of thing. But yes, this proclamation defines, this policy defines proclamations as ceremonial, honorific, non-legally binding public declarations as presented in county council meetings. It's used for special observances, public awareness, and honoring individuals or groups. And under this policy, the county executive or any county council member can propose a proclamation. The approval process is that it must be approved by a council vote as a motion. And under this process, the executive may be afforded the ability to also sign the proclamation, but would not be required to. But yeah, long story short, this is just implementing a process by which proclamations can be issued. So, did you guys have any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
So this states that it needs to be adopted in the form of resolution or motions. So instead of just reading it, we read it and make the motion
Yeah,
within
how
the
does that work?
same. How does that work? Do we do it the meeting before, say we're going to make it in the next meeting?
Yeah, no,
Or do we
so-
read the memorial or whatever we're making as a proclamation and motion to approve it in the same meeting?
So I think I follow, but yes, so I think those can be presented and approved in the same meeting.
Same meeting.
So that
So
be,
I would make a motion to make such memorial,
or to,
and then we would approve it, and then it would be read? I'm just trying to
I
think
know,
of how this
because
would
you
be
want
in
it
the
to be
same
kind
meeting.
of spontaneous, right? You don't want to read it and say, yes, I approve that, and now I'm going to present it.
Or say 2 weeks in advance, next week I'm going to make, or next meeting I'm going to make this motion.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
That's-
But that puts you in the position if you bring it up,
Might
and
not.
it might not, and you already brought it up.
I know, I don't
kinda
know how this
sucks.
works,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's legal language too.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I don't know,
like-
my thought on is, I did see it requires a majority from the council, and I don't know, the way I kind of feel about it, like if our executive wants to declare June
Dark
5th.
sky, just say
Br-
dark
Brent
sky
the Biker
something.
Day, you know, then
Yeah.
I'm like, do we really need to vote on that? It
I
seems
mean,
like overkill for
Or we can say dark
something
sky,
non-legal.
that's kind of something
Well,
that's kind of benign,
I was
but
gonna
also
say-
it's like, well, maybe I don't like my lights off. I don't know.
It's
You know,
like, you just hold back on that proclamation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that
I don't
works.
know.
I was going to say, Keegan, to address your point.
Yeah.
So in a lot of different forms of government, especially in municipal forums, it typically is the mayor that will propose a proclamation of some sort. But there are definitely a lot of times where that also would then go to a city council for their approval. The only thing that I have reservations about is that under both the county code and under the county optional plan, which kind of governs the county, it does say that at the end of the day, the county council is the official policymaking arm of the county. So that's my only concern. So if it were to, even just be a ceremonial thing, it would still have, from my understanding, have to kind of be a council action as well.
I just don't understand exactly how we approve it without reading it and, how do you honor? If you're gonna honor somebody, you want it to.
We can't send an email beforehand and say, hey, I'm gonna propose this, because then that would be inappropriate of the UPMA.
Can you still read it as an unofficial proclamation? Is that still allowed? Just like, I want to read a memo?
Yeah,
Can we just strip the
Well, if the
official
if the
proclamation?
proclamation is provided to all of the council, you can actually approve the proclamation and then read it. It is
If it's
right
given,
there.
if it's given in the
If
packet,
it's given in your packet.
we don't have to read it to approve it.
so then a motion would be made
To approve the proclamation.
Voted on.
And you could vote there and then officially read it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like, hey, has everyone had the chance to review this in their
Yes.
packet? Let's vote on it, and then if it
Exactly.
passes, we can read it.
Or, and some of them might not be written to be read at a council meeting. It might be, this is gonna be read next week at this function, but we still have read it and we approved it and we don't have to make it. But then as the packets are made public.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just because you,
I hope it isn't something that gets misused for biker, what do you call it?
Oh, Brent the Biker.
Spandex Day or something like that,
Spandex.
That's a good,
not what
that's
I
a good
said,
day.
for the record.
That's a good day.
I mean, we shouldn't abuse.
No, no, no. I don't
These are for honorable things.
yes.
Yeah, and I don't think that's gonna be a huge issue. I just want it to work seamlessly so that it is, if we're gonna honor somebody, it needs to be an honor that's done in a way that it's not, everybody's already read it out loud or publicly and then,
But we can't also just have willy-nilly proclamations and call them proclamations
From the
out there
county.
in the name of the county that
Wherein
become political driven.
wherein the county council didn't give their approval.
Exactly.
So,
or we're not even aware of.
Reflective of the county.
So,
Yeah. Okay. I think there may be, I still have some questions
just procedurally,
specifically about this. Let's maybe, I would maybe, I don't know if anybody wants to make a motion.
I don't, but I do want to say thanks for Andrew to
Yeah.
notice something
Yeah.
and be proactive about doing something
Yes.
about it.
It came through OMP, we looked at it and everything, but hey, just wait a couple weeks, no problem.
yep.
So,
And I also do want to clarify, I promise I didn't just push this thing through O&P by myself. I did talk to Barbara about this, and she said it was worthwhile, so.
Perfect. No, I think it's a really good idea, and let's just make sure we're all on the same page,
Yes.
clarify before we pass it.
Is there a way, and this is just a question I have to think about in the next 2 weeks, is there a way to inform, to respect Open and Public Meetings Act, OPMA, and to kind of just be like, yeah, that's fine? I don't know. If-
Get like the pre-nod.
Yeah,
I don't think
or
so.
something.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it has to be brought up in a meeting.
Could it be said, could it be stated such as this? This proclamation has been written and, or this honorary memoriam has been written and will be presented at this occasion. If somebody has an objection, please bring it up at the next meeting.
I mean, you could do that. Another thought would be, so in here it currently says the county executive or a council member can propose one. What if you add the caveat of, and can be presented to the county council at the discretion of the chair, or whoever that may be at the time? So that I don't know, there's a little more order to things. And, yeah, no, a proclamation could be sent out beforehand, you know, in a council
Not
packet.
included in the public packet.
Yeah, like in the private files that are sometimes shared with you guys.
I think I'd feel better about that. Can we clarify that just a little bit in the, is that?
I think I got lost, but what did we say?
Like, if it's, you know, sometimes there's things in our packet that aren't to the whole public, to just clarify things for us so that it would be, if any person, you know, the executive or any of us propose something, it can just be put in that packet to say, hey, this has been proposed. We're gonna take a vote on it.
Yeah, because to Dave's concern about politicizing it, I think it does just as much damage if you propose something.
And then
it's out
say
there
no.
and
No,
then it gets
yes.
rejected. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you can say, I can't believe they didn't approve this thing that was.
Yes.
But at the same time, it gives the council the backing or the approval of, because I believe there have been proclamations issued at events that the council has not been aware of.
That's correct.
Yep. So that is.
What was the damage?
I don't know that that's quantifiable.
So, what are we back to? We kind of said and say, hey, this is going to be read on behalf of Cache County. Let me know if you have a problem with that. Are we back to that?
I don't know, because I think it's such a good idea to do like, I think it is a wonderful thing, a lot of times to honor people and to honor occasions. We just all need to be on the same page, and I don't know how to accomplish that without an actual vote, or if, you know, this, it just seems kind of cumbersome to vote on.
Can it be like a ratification, like read it and then you know, you support it, then you say yay or nay?
But some things might not be read here, like this might not be the place to give that honor, it might be at a public event. I'm still a little unsure, I don't know.
And I'm still thinking, all the proclamations that we've ever done that I know of, they were always done in a county council meeting.
Right.
Could we get a list of like the last dozen?
If we knew what they all.
I was gonna say, are you talking about the ones presented in council or the ones outside?
I don't know, I mean, ideally all of them, but I'd love to just understand the historical context, because this seemed really benign to me and like not that important, but maybe if I saw them, I'd be like, oh, okay, those are actually more impactful than I anticipated.
Well, I think what we're trying to do is put it through the correct procedure and what the council's responsibilities are.
I don't
That
think,
was- yeah.
I don't think anyone should have the right to legislate through proclamation without the consent of the legislative body.
Right.
That's what this does.
But is it legislative to just make a proclamation saying
Does it legislate to say
we
kudos?
honor this person?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because
I mean,
I think
that
like.
seems a little
for an
heavy-handed to say that's legislating,
Yeah,
to
for an
pat on the
example,
back.
yeah, for example, like the executive could go on the radio and offer his opinion on something. and
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
different.
We don't, yeah, but that's why I want to see what these proclamations are, because like, how different is it than saying like, we'd really like to make housing affordable in the next 5 years. And I say, no, I don't approve that proclamation, like, what are we talking?
Some of the proclamations
We
that
as a
we've
county are
done
grateful
has
for the
been
service of our
honored,
chief,
yeah.
or fire chief.
Well, and Day of Prayer has been one, honoring our public safety officials.
It's a big one.
Victims
Those
Awareness
proclamations.
Month.
Yep.
Pardon me?
Victims Awareness Month.
Correct. So, you know.
Yes, I think kind of get to the point of, I think what you're asking, Keegan, is I think these are mostly meant to be more kind of non-controversial things. These are supposed to be more honorary, not necessarily like, here's a policy position of X, Y, Z. That would definitely be entirely up to the county council at that point.
So I guess where I stand now is like, do we need to add more bureaucracy to that process? And that kind of a
Well, right now, we say right now, we just don't have anything, so.
There has to be a policy.
So whatever the lightest policy is the one that I support.
All proclamations,
If they're done on behalf of the county, if it is presented that this is a proclamation honoring somebody on behalf of Cache County, the council should at least be made aware of it. And I
Yeah.
don't know, right?
Well-
But I don't know how to accomplish that without taking away the honor that we're giving to somebody. If they've already heard about it, it's
Yeah,
not.
and then are we back to just cordially getting along and saying like, hey, I want to proclaim this, what do you guys think? Or calling up one of the council members at a meeting and saying, hey, can you talk to your, the council member too and find out? That's kind of where I stand on it, I guess.
Well, why don't we just give this back to Andrew to go through it a little bit more?
Heard our
and-
concerns.
Yeah, and you've got our concerns, and then go from there.
Yeah, I like having a policy. I just like it specifically laid out so that what is the procedure to honor somebody or something and still make it honorary so that it's not, we took 3 votes on it and somebody said no. Like that, right? We don't want to get,
We
that
don't
that
wanna
defeats the
pat somebody
purpose.
on the back.
Yes, that defeats the purpose. So, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
That good with everybody? Does everybody want to make a motion? Are we good to continue that with everybody? No?
Good.
Good.
Whatever you want.
Okay. All right.
We'll
Thank you.
discuss it in ONP again.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, other business. We have the Logan City Pioneer Day Parade and the North Logan City Pioneer Day Parade both next week. Do we,
This week.
this week? 2 days. I was gonna go next week. Yes, okay, do we know who's?
Yes.
Huh?
Is it all right if I ask for a poll for who's going to Logan City's Pioneer Day Parade and which one's going to North Logan? They're going to be happening at the same time. I think you already mentioned
Yeah,
that.
I'll be in the Logan
Okay.
City.
If you're going to be in the Logan City Parade, raise your hand. Okay.
That's my city.
If you're going to be in the North Logan, raise your hand.
Mark, can I run with you?
Love it, yeah.
Mark and Bryson.
Tyson, no, it's Taylor.
Oh, was that Taylor that said it? Oh, it was Taylor. I just heard a voice over there.
More the merrier.
Put me down for the Logan, but it'll be for Logan.
Do we have vehicles for both of those set up and are we all registered and everything's taken care of?
We'll figure it out.
We should have something cooler than just a truck. We should have a
The
wagon.
side by side is available and it says Cache County on it. That's what Jeremy told me.
A wagon with horses.
Do you have one?
It is crowded.
Put that together. It was crowded because I joined last minute.
We can do it.
Well, the wagon was a little, I don't know that I'd call it a wagon. It was a little-
Carriage is pretty.
Carriage, it was great.
Carriage, yeah.
Okay. Okay, what about the Cache County Fair and Rodeo? Okay, it is, do you want to talk about that for just a second?
Yes, so with the Cache County Fair and Rodeo, our, trying to remember his exact title, but Bart Esplin has reached out and said, if the county council, wants to be involved, what's that going to look like? And so we talked a little bit, narrowed it down to the idea of, well, if a council member, if members of the county council want to, come and, be in the back of a truck at the beginning of the rodeo, or at some point, that would have to be a little more organized. So the idea is either having that on the first night of the rodeo or on the last night of the rodeo. So
Is everyone planning to go, and do you know what night you have tickets for? So should we just take a poll?
I'm going, and I'm going on the 7th. That's Thursday.
I'm going on Friday.
And I'm going on Saturday.
And I'm on Friday.
You're on Friday.
I'm going on each night.
Each night?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like Friday might be the night when there's more council members there.
Did you?
I think it should only happen once. I think
I'm
it's,
still waiting for schedule to see where I'm at.
We need to
I'm
make sure that the
TBD.
rodeo
I
people
might be there
know this
Friday.
is happening.
I have guests in town.
Friday? Yeah, why don't, just whoever's there on Friday night, have them meet at to have Bart figure out where to meet, and have them
Ring a cowbell.
wear your hat and your boots.
okay, if you plan on being there on Friday, raise your hand, even if it's TBD.
Sorry, what's the question?
If you're gonna be there Friday
I
night.
heard there's,
Okay,
Oh, look, you'll have a bunch.
got it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, the Sauerkraut Days Parade on the 15th at 5 PM. Does anyone have,
Okay, so I've got conflicting information. What day of the week is that? Is that
I
Friday?
think that's a Friday,
is it?
the 15th.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I can go.
Is anyone else planning on going?
A little too far out, other things going on, but I'll let you know next meeting for sure.
Okay. All right, the last thing is the UAC conventions. Are we all registered for that and
I was going
hotels?
to ask you, so who will be able to attend?
What are we talking about this time?
The UAC annual convention.
TBD.
TBD here.
This is like 2 months from now.
That's Monday,
So we have to
Tuesday,
register.
Wednesday?
Can we cancel and get our money back?
I haven't registered you guys yet.
I know, but if they,
we
re-
cancel,
On the
can we
others,
get our
we've
money
been
back?
able to get out, so hopefully it should.
yeah, I think you
There
should.
is an early cancellation policy that I'll have to look into.
Will you text me
The
the
early bird
cancellation policy?
registration is open right now.
Yeah.
It is,
try
and
to
if I
do it.
register
Get
you
the
guys right
discount.
now, I get a discount. So
I think we have a council meeting scheduled for the 9th.
We changed it.
Oh,
We
did
changed
you
it last
change
meeting.
We
Okay.
changed it, yeah.
Oh.
I will be there.
You need to put Wellsville Founders Day breakdown for
Founders Day.
Oh, when is that?
Labor Day.
Our audience is following.
I know, sorry, guys.
Not anymore.
Okay, that's on Labor Day.
You can't ask that anymore. You can't ask that anymore.
Okay.
I don't have to answer either.
All right, let's go to council member reports so we can get to our next function. Barbara, would you lead us off?
I'll just give a little update on the America 250. As you can see, we're getting people organized into the committee. We're still looking for someone to join us from the south end of the valley. I did contact a person that you named, Dave, and he's trying to get back to me.
Well, Pam Budge lives in
Yeah.
Paradise. Didn't you just nominate Pam Budge?
Yeah.
She's in Paradise.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's Paradise.
Oh, awesome then.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thank
she's-
you, thank you.
You bet.
And the contact I gave you lives in Nibley, so that's south end.
Okay. We're got a lot of things going on. I've got a constituent that has already gone to the mayor of Smithfield City. She and her friend and Mayor Monson says, have at it, you get to take care of it. So they're already planning things. I don't know, I'm just really excited about a lot of things that are going on. I've invited Gina Worthen to work with me on some of the things that I'm looking at, and she was very appreciative and wants to be involved in that also. So that's all that I have to report.
Okay, Keegan.
So airport board, some history was shared in the last meeting. I wasn't aware that our airport was used for training during World War II, so maybe you guys knew that, but that was news to me. Wanted to reiterate and thank COSAC for coming today. Dirk, you weren't there, but they did remind us that there's a vacancy on the board and that they submitted some applications, so just make sure that's on your radar. Trails Committee, one thing I'll mention is there has been some confusion in the paper, and I've been asked about this with the wildlife management areas requiring a fishing license to access some of the areas. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but that doesn't apply to our county. It's only first and second, counties of a first and second class, but the Bonneville Shoreline Trail was mentioned in Utah County. And they did, the Division of Outdoor Rec entered into agreement with DWR and is granting access on pre-established trails. So, but anyway, long story short is it doesn't really affect us. So if anyone asks, you can just say you can still hike the trails and go where you were going before. And then this Sunday at noon, maybe some of you saw that the Tony Grove Rec Area and Mount Naomi Wilderness are going to be included in the Old Growth Forest Network. So there's a ceremony on Sunday to induct them. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Where will that be?
it's at Tony Grove.
At Tony Grove at noon on Sunday?
Yeah.
Parking, I'm sure,
Good
will
luck
be.
getting parking.
I know. Get there overnight, the night before in camp.
We don't have to get into a lot of detail, but I did get an email on the moratorium that is for 6 months about just current applications, if they're grandfathered in, or if it just restricts new ones. So I think we should address that or talk to staff at some point to get clarification for those applicants. And then maybe the last thing I'll mention is municipal elections are coming up. Primaries, I think, will be the same day is our next council meeting?
August 12th is election day. Ballots will be in mailboxes tomorrow.
So just encourage citizens to participate in the process. And, that's all I got.
Thanks, Keegan. Nolan?
Dirk, will you make the executive aware we're missing a P and Z commissioner? We need one. I think there's been some names passed on.
Yes, absolutely.
We need that filled because in the summertime, it's hard getting a quorum and we're down to 6. So we need another one there, and that's
Get right on it.
pretty much all I have.
Okay, Catherine?
I don't have anything.
Okay, Dave?
I don't have anything.
Mark?
Keegan kind of mentioned it, primary's coming up. I was going to publicly compliment Bryson on his radio appearance yesterday.
Yes, I heard you.
Summarized the realities very well, I thought. We are continuing a conversation about purchasing policy. There's been an initial meeting there and a lot of good discussion and context shared about current state of things and what to work on. And so Matt and myself and Andrew and Brittany, et cetera, we'll all be working on that. And, you know, there was a couple other items talked about at OMP other than what came before, but obviously you saw the things that have been finalized, so Barbara's keeping us busy.
I don't know about me, but yeah, we are being kept busy on it.
Okay, and I went to a meeting for the Recreation Center Steering Committee. They got about 5,000 respondents from their new study, and they've kind of combined it with the 4,000 that they got, 4,400 that they got from the South End survey when they did that. They're compiling all that together and preparing to present some information and move forward with the next part of that process, so that they're working on that. And then yesterday, we were able to take a road tour up in the south end of the valley. It was very informational and instructional. And I'll try and type up kind of a summary of that and send it out to everybody so you kind of know what we saw. So that's it. Now I need someone to make a motion.
Move to go into executive session for strategy sessions to discuss pending or reasonably imminent litigation.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we move into executive session. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?